It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday, my dudes.
And welcome into We Talk Sports Good and a very special guest, not guest, but the rotating summer of co-hosts. It is the one, the only Thomas Welly rejoining for some mid-season baseball talk.
Let's get it.
We have
It is good to be back, even if it's just for a little while.
we have Thomas Wagon. We are rotating him out, R.I.P. Randall, but not R.I.P. As he is running 4 different jobs for the city of Longview. We do worry about his health, but he is still alive. We checked in. He is alive. I texted him this morning, and then he responded at about 4 because that was the first time he got a chance to look at his phone. So he is alive today, folks. He is good and well. Thomas, he's stepping in here, back to the old seat here, and we're going to be doing some baseball chat. So let's just get right into it. So we're going to go start off as you see on the bottom scrolling. We are going to obviously talk some home run derby, all-star game, as well as biggest surprises and midseason award. We're going to start on that second half there with biggest surprises and midseason award here first. So I know I've mentioned it before, but one of the biggest surprises I've got is obviously the Giants and Red Sox, as I don't think you actually know my preseason pick, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it out there.
Remind the listeners.
So, preseason picks. I'll start with the NL because I feel like mine was pretty straightforward on that side. I had the Dodgers winning on that side. We had the Padres. I had the Padres as obviously a wild card. I did go Mets, and then I did go Cardinals on that end for the division, and then I had the Braves as well as wild card. So I'm not feeling great about the Braves right now, especially with the Giants just out of nowhere, and there are just no signs of stopping. I went Cardinals because I was thinking the whole Goldschmidt and Arenado combo was going to be pretty good, and the pitching before some of the injuries wasn't looking too bad, and the Brewers just got hot again. And it's still so weird to see the Brewers and pitching carrying them through. I just can't comprehend that fact, so that probably clouded that a little bit. On the AL side, I did go White Sox. I know we were both big fans of the White Sox last year, so I did have them winning the Central. I went Yankees to win and Rays and Blue Jays to take wild card spots. And when I say my West pick, I just want to preface it with I had zero confidence in making this pick, and I did say I know I'm wrong on this.
Did you say the Rangers?
I picked the Angels, thinking Trout it's Trout. He has to. It's Trout. The Angels can't keep blowing this, and they are. And then so I prefaced it with
he can't stop getting hurt. He gets hurt every year.
He does.
It's frustrating.
But they can't seem to actually figure out how to put a team around him. And now they are 2-person oriented with Trout and Ohtani, and that's it. They got nothing else.
They got to freaking score 13 runs to win every game. Like, it's stupid. They can't stop anybody.
And Anthony Rendon hasn't been paying off either. It's just
no. He got his ring, got paid, and he's chilling.
Yeah. So I prefaced it with
he's putting that Rice education to work.
Yeah, really. So I prefaced it with I picking them, but I know I'm going to be wrong, and it's going to be the Astros or A's going to actually win it. I made that pick and had zero confidence in it. So I just want to throw that out there when I said it. I do feel pretty good about one of my, I don't want to say sleepers because I didn't pick them to make the playoffs, but I did say I think one of the reasons why I didn't think two teams would come out of the West is because I thought the Mariners would play spoiler a little bit and be above end of the year just above 500, and take away some of those wins needed to make a wild card spot. Now, the A's and Astros are playing a little higher than I thought they both would be. I thought both teams would have certain struggles on each part. I didn't know if the A's would always have enough offense. I didn't know if the back end of the Astros rotation would be able to hold enough. So they both had more wins than I thought. And the fact that the Mariners are about where I thought, and Angels have bumped up. I'm kind of surprised where you do see the A's in second with 49 wins. I'm pretty happy about my White Sox pick, I just want to say, because in the end, I had the Padres winning over the White Sox in the World Series. So that's still looking all right.
It is. Man, and to go off that for like just a second, like, how can you not pick the White Sox? Like, just based on the rest of the division. Like,
right.
It's awful. It's awful. Like,
I mean, the Indians are surprising me. Well, they're not at 500. That's honestly where I thought they would be. They were staying a little ahead more than I thought.
Bro, they were 9 games above 500.
That didn't make any sense. They've lost 9 in a row, so yeah, you're right.
I know. To get it back to 500, it's crazy.
I didn't think the Twins would be this bad, though. I thought they'd fall off eventually.
Yeah,
I thought that was unsustainable.
Maybe Odorizzi leaving was the key.
Yeah. But then you had the AL East, and I didn't see Boston without Sale just flipping it there 180. So that's stealing a lot more wins than I thought on that end. And as much as I think I'm still overclouded with the former players' kids, I need to maybe back off Toronto a little bit.
Back off who? Oh, back off Toronto.
Yeah.
I like Toronto. I just don't think they have the pitching.
Yeah.
To take them. It's kind of like LA. Like you got a great offense, but you got maybe one guy who's after Rue.
Oh, I don't know where they're at now. I can
dribbling.
I think, yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It's just one of those things where like pitching's going to take you places, and a big surprise for me is the fact that New York is the Yankees are freaking 9 games back.
Yeah,
like that's insane because you look at their roster, it's like how and honestly, like, how do you lose? Like, especially when Garrett Cole's pitching, cheating scandal or not, whatever that's going on with, it's which by the way, I feel like this is one of those things where I think it should be allowed. Like,
no spider tag though.
Yeah. Just put like something that if you want being a hitter, Dom. Like, if you're a hitter, would you want something that they use?
Oh yeah,
to pitch.
I think
and
the
why?
consensus.
And tell me why.
I think the consensus is they're fine with something, but like, obviously don't let it go to spider tack level. Like, we're cool with the like sunscreen and rosin combo or something along those lines. Just when it steps over to spider tack, then yeah, that stuff isn't cool. But like, keep it on the just normal things that we've used. Like I said, sunscreen and rosin's the easiest example. But like, I've seen hitters obviously fine with it.
Here's why I would be for pitchers using this stuff, and Pete Alonso said it best. I don't know if you heard what he said about it, but as a hitter, and this comes from me as a pitcher, you know what I'm saying? But like, as a hitter, I would want the pitchers to know where the heck they're throwing the ball. Especially if they're throwing 100 miles an hour. I don't want one to randomly be coming at my face.
Right.
And all the more, and honestly, using that stuff, comes into play, letting people know, like, it ain't just gonna slip. Like, oh, sorry, it slipped. Yeah, okay. Like, you're lying. Like the ball can barely release out of your hands without taking some skin cells. Like it's not that ball didn't slip. You hit me on purpose, you jerk. But I don't know. That's just one of those things where I'm for it. But I mean, I'm probably in the minority. But and the other part of me, like, I really don't give a rip. Like, there's certain things in baseball where I don't mind. But of course there's a line. I feel like everybody has that line where like, that's not so bad. Besides, baseball's changed so much. It's not even funny.
Right. Well, yeah, it is. Well, throw it. I've got a couple more surprises, good, bad, but I'll throw it back to you here in a second. I mean, Giants, obviously, I still don't understand. I mean, I think I said this a couple weeks ago. I don't get it other than Posey and Gosman's having a great year. Like, for, what are they, 20 over and first over to Dodgers and Padres? Like, it just doesn't make sense how they are 20 games over 500. 21.
Yeah, 21 games. 21 games.
Just doesn't
and they've
make
lost
sense.
2 in a row.
Yeah.
They've lost 2 in a row.
So I mean, that just is crazy. Not good surprise, bad surprise. I think maybe for some people, which I saw this coming, was the Marlins coming back down to earth. Last year with the short season, like, they just took advantage of that. Like, they are what they are, slightly below 500 team, a little ahead of probably schedule for a rebuilding team, but like, they definitely took advantage of the short season and then the mess of the NL East, which I've seen compared to the NFC East, which is pretty true. I mean, the Mets are taking advantage of it, but I mean, Atlanta's just bad surprise here, just not figuring it out. Washington just always starts terrible and has to dig themselves out of a hole.
Don't worry. Next week starts their freaking comeback.
And then Phillies somehow surviving with one of the worst bullpens ever, and they're 1 game under 500, so maybe they can dig themselves out of that. And then I guess my award picks I want to kind of throw out there too with my
yeah, go ahead.
What I had, and this is, we'll get to what we have as of now. Some good ones and embarrassing ones that I had picked. My MVPs preseason, I had Tatis Jr., which that's probably looking pretty good right now on the NL side. AL side, I thought the White Sox with their, I had them in the World Series. I was hoping this would be the breakout year for Yoán Moncada.
Yoán Moncada? Yeah.
Yeah, Moncada. Yeah, not the MVP breakout year, and will not win MVP. Definitely will not. Then my Cy Young, which this one on the AL side frustrates me a little bit because I had 40-year Tyler Glasnow, and I think that was looking really good till he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then NL is the obvious. I did go with DeGrom because he's the best pitcher in MLB right now. My AL Rookie of the Year is embarrassing wrong because I went with the Jarred Kelenic on the call-up, would just tear it up. He did the exact opposite. He got called up and he went like 1 for like 25 or something and got sent right back down.
Yeah.
And outside, I went with just Dylan Carlson of the Cardinals. We'll see where that ends up. I thought with the Blue Jays maybe making a decent playoff spot in the wild card. I did, and I had beaten the Rays in the wild card game. Before losing, I did go with Montoya with the Blue Jays for Manager of the Year, and then with the Padres winning the World Series, I went with Tingler winning the NL Manager of the Year.
Okay. Very cool. So I don't have all of those, but I'm going to go with Cy Young and MVP because I know for a fact that I sent them to somebody. Might have been you. Anyway.
Probably.
So my preseason NL Cy Young was DeGrom because I can't argue with There's no argument there. And then my preseason AL was Lucas Giolito.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my Jesus. So one of them's looking great.
I mean, you went with probably the right team almost on the AL side. I mean, well, we got to say Lance Lynn's the leader for the AL right now, right?
Well, Lance Lynn is freaking. Jeez, he was good with the Rangers. I don't know why they let him go or whatever.
They got to get something out of him since they weren't contending.
True, but yeah, he's been solid for a while. And then my NL MVP, I stayed with DeGrom actually.
Okay.
Because I just feel like the MVP leans more on the pitcher side. Now, I did not know he would be this dominant.
I mean, shoot, he's also hitting, 400?
Yeah. I did not know he'd be this dominant. And so that was my thing on it. And for the AL, this was more of a hope because I think the Astros should pay him brake trucks, and I was just going out on a limb and putting Carlos Correa in that thing just to say, screw you to the Astros, pay me my money. And so I went Carlos Correa. So obviously, probably not going to happen. But I went with him for kind of a heart reason because I want the Astros to pay him because I think they would be stupid to not to. But that's my 15-second TED talk on why they should do that. So yeah, those are my accolades, and so.
Well, as we look at the current situation now, I think some surprise on the NL side would be the outfield combo of the Reds of Winker and Castanelas.
Oh yeah, dude.
Duo of the outfield corners there, and I holding those Reds just above 500. I mean, no pitching, they've had some ups and downs there in the rotation, but those two guys just holding it together for the Reds there with can't ask for a better outfield corner outfield combo right now.
I agree. So side note on those two. So Dom, I don't know if you played Beat the Streak or not.
I do.
But I was looking on there today when I made my picks, and we're not sponsored, by the way. Sorry. When I made my picks, the guy, I went to the leaderboard, and the guy who has the most right now at 39 has over and over again picked those two guys and been super successful with it. And so I just thought about that. And I was talking to Dom about it today. I was like, maybe we could get some Twitter involvement with you guys on picking who you think we should pick and just go with it because, our picks, I don't know about you, Dom, my best streak of the year is 8.
Oh, that's probably about where I'm at, best streak. If that. I might even be overselling myself there.
I thought it'd be a fun idea for us to get
I got
Twitter
9.
involved and see.
I've actually got
nice. 9. Nice.
But I'm on 0 right now.
Get Twitter involved and helping us with the pick, so be looking out for that. But I digress.
Yeah.
Those two are good. Those two are good, though, for sure.
Well, then we got in our own, the OPS above 1,000 is 3 gentlemen this year. And I think we could have saw, I don't think these are surprises per se, but we have the 3 guys above 1,000 are Vladdy Jr., Fernando Tatis, and Shohei Ohtani, your boy, who is now at 32 home runs, leading the MLB and already setting a record for most home runs by a Japanese player in one season. All-Star Derby contestant, pitcher and hitter nominated in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Who my one time I get to bring up, and I'm going to do it now.
Fine.
If he wins MVP, Mr. Welly will be getting Ohtani. I'll let you use shirtsy. You don't have to go full on jersey.
Okay.
Those things are two suckers are too pricey.
This is dumb.
When will you just admit it?
Dude, he's good, okay?
He's not over.
He is the freaking media's darling, and everything that he does, whether it's good or bad, the media just blows up on it. It's like, oh, Ohtani wiped his butt. He only did it in one try. Better put a freaking news article about it. It's so stupid. Like everything that I see. Oh, look at this pitch Ohtani does. Oh, it's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Oh, awesome. Seen it. like 30 30 pitchers in the American League and Major League Baseball throw 100 miles an hour, and
But
they're
he's
not even
doing
starters.
both.
So is DeGrom if you want to get in that argument, Dom.
But he's not. DeGrom's not doing it every day. It's not every day, though.
The problem. Here's my thing. I never bashed him for not being good. Like I always thought he was good. He's just the media's freaking darling, and he can do no wrong in their eyes. Like, it's so annoying. I'm more annoyed by how much coverage he's getting than what he's actually doing. And honestly, like, I think what he's doing is awesome. It hadn't been done in a long time. As a baseball fan, I love it. But seeing him everywhere is just annoying, dude. So I'm not like, I'll be a hater. That's fine. I'll take that title. I'll be a Shohei Ohtani hater. That's fine. But I have no problems eating my words. I even told you that when we made the deal. I was like, I'll eat my words. I don't care. I ain't got no problem with that. But just and the other thing is, like, yes, he's carrying the Angels, but, like, they're still bad. Like,
yeah,
he's the best player on the Angels, like, even with Mike Trout being hurt, he's the best player on one of the worst teams.
Hey, they're above 500 now.
And still 9 games back.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I want to point out two different things, and then get your thoughts on who would be, at this moment, MVP and Cy Young. Point one, Vladdy Jr., and I know strikeouts was a big thing for him. He has cut that down, and his walks are at 51 and 62 strikeouts. That is an amazing just combo there. Point two will lead into a third, which is a question for you. Tatis is at 27 home runs and 19 stolen bases. It's been a long time, obviously, since we've seen
have a 30-30.
Well, I was going to say, I was actually going to take it one step farther. Do you think he can get the 40-40? And if so, do you think you can name the 4 members of the 40-40 club? Because the 30-30 club is a little more achievable. There's been 20 in the AL who's done it, and there's been 43 in the NL. So, and then also Beltran did it as a combo of the Astros and Royals. So you can add that in. But
so we're talking about who's in the 40-40?
40-40 club is a lot more exclusive. There has been 4.
Ever?
Forever. And the last one happened in 2006, and the first one happened in 1988. Can you guess those 4 players?
I was gonna say Ty Cobb, but
nope.
Never mind. Was it Matt Kemp in 2006?
Matt Kemp is not a 40-40.
Okay. Give me like 10 seconds to think of somebody, and then just tell me, because I'll be thinking.
I'll give you a hint for the AL and a hint for an NL.
All right.
The NL, think of just a lot of home runs, who used to be fast too. The AL, he's a very polarizing figure. Who actually, that's a clue for both of the first 2. And honestly won the NL, so.
Was it Bonds?
Barry Bonds in 1996 with the Giants had 42 home runs and 40 stolen bases before the juice really started kicking in.
Yikes. Was it Ichiro, was it?
It was not Ichiro.
He's polarizing.
These guys would be a lot worse polarizing.
Oh.
I will give you the other NL because I didn't realize he got the 40-40. On the 2000.
Wait, was Pete Rose a 40-40 guy?
No, he was not.
Yeah.
2006 on the Nationals hit 46 home runs and 41 stolen bases. Alfonso Soriano.
Oh, that guy! What a stud!
The
What a stud
AL.
with a majestic swing.
The AL side. Um, this one I did not even realize the first one to do it was Jose Canseco. In '88 with the A's, had 42 home runs and 40 stolen bases. I had no clue he had a 40 stolen base year.
That's crazy.
So that fell into my polarizing clue. And his buddy that did it in the AL, who's not A-Rod with the Mariners. That one's not as surprising.
No.
So
I'm surprised Griffey didn't do it.
That I know there was some surprises there that like you said those would not have been my guesses. Barry Bonds, honestly, the more I thought about it, like that one made sense, but and A-Rod, but the other two I would not have. I completely forgot Soriano did it, and Jose Canseco never would have been a guess.
We can go all day on that. We should. I'm on just an entire segment on who we thought should have been 40-40
right.
or whatever.
So I'll table that, but that means with that note, with Tatis in potential crazy
it definitely does.
Situation there. I say right now I go Tatis Jr. and I'm going Ohtani for current MVP. And my current Cy Youngs would be Lance Lynn and DeGrom, the obvious.
You're gonna not pick DeGrom for MVP?
I'm not. I'm gonna go Tatis. I'm going to say that Tatis, if he does get to that 40-40 and going to be historic, you can't not reward both of those guys for historic years.
I know, but DeGrom's also putting up historic numbers.
Man. I mean, I would understand it, but also if Tatis hits a 40-40 and the fifth guy in history to do that, I mean, I think, and when I say DeGrom's going to, I mean, look what happened today. His ERA went all the way up to 108 from a little bit of a worse game. Like, I don't think he was going to stay above or under 1. So I think in the end he's going to end up in maybe like 1.5, 1.6, which is still insane. Like, but I don't think that it was going to be too hard to keep that insane pace of under 1.
Yeah.
So in the end, I don't think that's why it would work.
Okay, good picks. So I'm also gonna go. I'm gonna agree with you on Lance Lynn. He's an absolute monster. And then I'm not picking Ohtani. Not because I don't think he can be MVP, for the sake of the bet. I'm gonna go Vladdy because I think he's gonna pick it up, and I think he's gonna single-handedly carry his team to a division title.
Ooh.
I'm on board with it.
All right.
I think it'll come down to those two teams in the end. And then I have a double Cy Young MVP in DeGrom because I don't know how. I don't know. It's going to take Tatis or somebody else to go just to do something miraculous to match what he's done, in my opinion. And so it's an easy pick, but at the same time, it's like, really?
That's fair. Well, we'll move on here to the last part real quick. We got Home Run Derby and All-Star. We'll give our Home Run Derby picks here, and then I want to get your thoughts on the All-Star roster. With our Home Run Derby contestants all now finalized, we have Ohtani, Pete Alonso, Trevor Story, Trey Mancini, Salvador Perez, Matt Olson, Juan Soto, and Joey Gallo. And I've been now forced to obviously think about that because I was going to go Ohtani to win it. I think you knew I was going to go there. But now I'm going to go Ohtani versus Gallo in the final.
Has the bracket been made yet?
It hasn't. So, I mean, I could be completely wrong and this bracket doesn't work. So, I mean, if not, I'll change it around. But I haven't seen the bracket yet, at least. Maybe I'm missing it. So, at this point, I'm going to go with Gallo and wait. Well, yeah, I was going to say, did they do it based on home runs / Pete Alonso technically is the defending since we didn't have an all-star last year, so does he get a top seed? I don't remember since they've kind of mixed things around.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So at this point, I'm just going to say Gallo versus Ohtani in the final. And you know what? After today, Gallo hitting a 440 and a 464-foot home run, I'm going to take my homeboy and Mr. Gallo.
Okay. So I'm not gonna pick. I'm just gonna go off of who I think's gonna win. I would agree. I like seeing people who mash baseballs. Someone who I think absolutely destroys baseballs is Matt Olson. And so I'm not picking him, but he's one to watch. Can't count out the defending champ. I hope Juan Soto doesn't hit a home run. But yeah, I'm actually going to go out on a limb here. I'm not going out on a limb. I'm agreeing with you. I want to see Joey Gallo hit 30 just because I like watching baseballs fly. So I'm going to also pick Joey Gallo. And so we're gonna roll.
Well then, I want to get your thoughts on then starting lineups and just rosters and who you think should be starting pitcher. I mean, I guess we both would. I guess that's a stupid question, as I think we'll both go with our DeGrom and Lance Lynn on that end. So I'm gonna actually skip that. And
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts then on both starting lineups, because I honestly, when I ran through it with Randall last week, I was pretty happy because the starting lineup for the NL stayed about where it was already. There wasn't any big changes. So I was actually pretty fine with where the NL stayed. I guess my only thought was I could have seen a flip of Muncy and Freeman, but I'm good either way with either of those guys being technical starter. I was fine with where that ended up. I feel like on the AL side, I'm actually very happy for the majority. Other than I get Mike Trout was going to get all the votes, but for the fact that he's missed the whole year, I didn't like that. Which at least because it's for sure not pushed past the All-Star game, he will be replaced. So I will give you, I think Brantley should be the replacement starter. So other than that, I feel pretty comfortable with where the AL side. With Hernandez, I could have seen that flip into Brantley, but I figured whatever one didn't get that spot was going to be Trout's technical replacement starter. So I was kind of fine with wherever that went. I think I even said on the shortstop side, Bogarts deserved it, but then I said Bo and Correa are both going to make the roster, so it'll work out perfectly fine. So, I mean, in the end, I feel like I didn't actually have much complaints on the rosters this year versus the last few years. I feel like how they did it was a little better, too, going from the big pool down to, just a few per position, because I feel like then it cut a lot of the stupid voting away. Like, oh, okay, my guy I kept voting for that I shouldn't have is gone. I'll actually vote for who deserves it.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts then on starting and?
Should have a freaking criteria on who you can vote for.
I mean, I guess to be fair, Trout. I mean, he wasn't hurt when the voting started, so that kind of messes things a little small bit.
I guess.
I mean, if you thought maybe he was going to come back, you can't really take him out. I mean, he's one of the faces of the league, though, so they're going to want him to always get his All-Star votes. I just hope I don't ever like having someone be injured like Trout, because I want to keep seeing him play, but at least it's not like, oh, he got the starting spot and like he's there and he played 12 games. I mean, he played great for his time. He was healthy, and then someone that is deemed the All-Star starter is deserved.
Here's what I think should happen. I think that this would kind of be a hit. Is if the MLB set a time and date for All-Star voting to start, right? And they made this big old drawn out thing about it. It's like, All-Star voting starts now. Make it an event, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you have freaking a criteria that people vote on. and like for players to be eligible for the All-Star game, like have to play a certain number of games, blah blah
Right.
blah, to not be hurt, to not like to go through this mumbo jumbo of freaking like All-Star replacements because you put in a freaking player who's only played a limited number of games. I think they're losing. I think there's opportunity here for them to get some money, especially for viewers, to freaking have this big old drawn out event like the freaking ball dropping in New York on for New Year's. You had this countdown to just freaking All-Star voting is now, opens now, and like hell, have a marathon of live voting, having all the numbers going up at the same time. I don't know. But like at the same time, it makes it to where you can make a criteria for players to get in, because All-Star voting is so stupid, in my opinion. I don't like it. I don't like it because people get in without deserving to get in. They get in because they're popular. Now, granted, have their resume gets them in? Of course. But like what they've done this season, what have they done for me lately? No.
That's fair.
I don't know. I think they're missing out on an opportunity to make money, but that's just me.
That's fair. Well, divert you back. Where do you feel on the rest of these starters for both sides, as well as reserves, pitching, and who do you think then should get Trout's spot?
As a baseball fan, and not just Astros bias, I think Michael Brantley should have gotten the start. The dude's been hitting out of his mind, and it hasn't just been as of late. Like it's crazy. I'm pretty sure everybody that is hitting above 340 is an all-star starter.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but like he might be the only one that is hitting over 340 that isn't an all-star starter. And so that in itself is saying something. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the rest of them. I think the barrage of Toronto players is a little bit ridiculous, but
yeah, I was kind of surprised
that's
that the fans
all-star
picked it
voting
up.
for you.
Yeah, I was surprised that the Blue Jays got such a popular push.
Well, they got a butt ton of fans up there, and they're pissed off that they can't watch their team play.
So they'll see him in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, then any other thoughts on the roster? Are you feeling pretty good with the majority of it?
Yeah. I'm not too sure who Adam Frazier is.
He is on the side of hitting ridiculously high batting average.
Is he raking?
He is. He's at 326, fourth in the MLB. And fair because the Pirates need their one representative, and he is definitely the deserving one.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm good with everything.
Yeah, it was funny when I said Frazier. I did catch Rand because he was leading it and then still held on to it. And Randall's like, "Wait, Todd Frazier's playing on the Pirates and batting 3 what?" It's like, no, different Frazier. Much unknown, but at least got the love from the fans and was like, yeah, he deserves a start, and Pittsburgh does need that one rep. To be fair, they did get Brian Reynolds in the outfield as a rep, but I mean, they for sure got their one, and good for him. Pirates don't have a lot to look up to right now, so.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going through their averages.
I mean, listen, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, me too. So let's
Good. Well, I will end it on one question for you.
Okay.
Obviously, I know your pick's always the Astros, and it will always be the Astros to win it all.
Yep.
Who do you feel is your biggest threat in the AL and your biggest threat in the NL to keep the Stros from winning a World Series?
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. I'm gonna for the AL side, it's the White Sox. Even though the Astros swept them earlier, that is a fluke. Um, they just got hot at the right time and continued rolling. But I still think it's either them or the A's. The A's always play the Astros super close and really, really good. And so I'm just gonna pick one out of each division, honestly.
All right, that's fine.
Tampa, who knocked us out last year, is always good, especially if they can get their pitching back and get them rolling. In the NL, it's everybody that I'm scared of is in the West.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not surprised. I mean, as much as the Mets and Brewers are doing well, I don't feel like they're as big of a threat at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, freaking San Diego put a whipping on them the other day, or not the other day, but when they played them in that series at home. Yeah, just San Francisco. I like that. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm entirely sold on San Francisco being a powerhouse, even though the numbers don't lie. I haven't watched them play all that much, and so I'd like to see. We don't have to look them up now, but I can look them up later. The splits between their division on how they do against the Dodgers and San Diego and stuff like that. But yeah, I think just your regular teams like LA and San Diego in the NL. So.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks, of course, for hopping on here for a little mid-season baseball. We'll definitely have to set this back up as it's time for playoffs to see where it really stands and then get those official playoff picks going. So from us here at We Talk Sports Good, thanks for tuning in. And always feel free to tune in every Wednesday here on 12 Ounce Sports to catch us talking sports good. Have a great rest of your night.